Bucks fans, I'm here with one of the newest defensemen to join the herd, Leighton Stewart, making an immediate impact and joining us today for a little bit of a chat. So, Leighton, first of all, welcome to Cranbrook, welcome to the Bucks, and yeah, thanks for taking the time here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, and like we were saying off the record, an immediate impact, and I believe your first game in Cranbrook, and definitely winning the fans over there. But I guess we'll get to that in a bit. But just how's have the first few weeks been? Coming to a team that's starting to really find its legs heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a great experience so far. We had a great group of guys here, and the town of Cranbrook's pretty cool too. I'm not really used to these big mountains, so it's been nice.
Well, yeah, I'm coming from, I guess, Nova Scotia, not too far from Halifax, and then early last 2 years, I believe, some time in the queue. So definitely a big jump from there to here. But I guess first of all, just take us back to a little bit. Nova Scotia being the hockey hotbed it is. We just saw the Four Nations Cup and how big the trio from Nova Scotia was out there. So, yeah, how's it been kind of growing up out there, playing the game with those three kind of, anchoring the NHL?
Yeah, it's definitely cool growing up. Always have someone to look up to because it's a pretty small province, but I think we produce pretty good players, and the development there is pretty good. I don't know. I'm pretty proud to be from there.
Especially these last few years, we're really seeing that East Coast wave really taking over. Especially the veteran guys like you mentioned too. And I know Jack McMinn, a fellow newcomer out there, former extra on the Trailer Park Boys. You a big fan of Sunnyvale?
I've never watched the show actually.
Oh no way. Okay. Well, they're a Nova Scotia staple, and from I've never been there, but from what I'm told, they're kind of accurate to the less fortunate mid 30s crowd. So, um, yeah, always some good watching there. But yeah, back to the hockey a little bit. So you're playing in the queue with, I believe, the Quebec Rampart. Take us, I guess, just through that, playing in such a big market, with the team that really is the center of that city. That had to be a very cool experience for you.
Yeah, it was definitely unreal. It was a great organization there. Every night we'd play, we'd have pretty much 10,000 fans in the stands, so it was pretty cool. It was an NHL atmosphere for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still that Nordique hangover, still that hope that they'll bring back NHL action there, and I'm sure still some old school Nordiques fans that were coming out for to watch you play. So yeah, generational hockey fans in Quebec. But I guess now take us through just the journey from Quebec to Cranbrook. What brought you out to the Bucks?
Yeah, so the end of the year in Quebec, they told me at Christmas time I wouldn't be able to play every game. So out here, I had a more of an opportunity to get into the lineup every night. So given this late in my career where I'm 19, I'd like to play every game. So that's kind of when I would decide to come out here to finish the season.
And I guess what was it about the Cranbrook Bucks that spoke to you? I know I'm sure there was a bit of a bidding war for your services.
Yeah, I had a long chat with Ryan Donald, and he kind of talked about the program, just how you go day to day life, what they expect, and the way they run the organization. It sounded like a great fit for me and my development, and I'm pretty glad that I came out here.
And let's fast forward to the debut home game. Yeah, big energy from you in that one. So yeah, we don't talk about fighting too much on the show. It's a PG-13 kind of thing. But yeah, just take us through, I guess, the lead up to that. In your first home game, it had to be a bit of a nice way to kind of get into it. Although, interestingly,
Yeah, definitely fighting's not really too much of involved in the game anymore, but kind of given that spot we were down 3-1 and we were kind of a bit low on the bench, I felt that I could make a difference and try and get the energy back. And my dad was a fighter, actually. He was a fighter in the coast. He fought a lot in junior too, so kind of familiar with how it works.
and yeah, since then we've seen the team really take off. That big road trip in February, I think, taking 5 of 6 wins there, and then this recent three-game streak that's really captivated a lot of fans out here. I guess what are you seeing that this team is doing well as we get into the home stretch?
Um, I think we're a well-coached team. Ryan and Nard to do a great job of giving us a good run by on the other team before we go out there and give us a good plan of how to win. And I think we're just a good gelled group in the locker room, so it kind of makes performing together a little bit easier on the ice. And I think we have a good group of skill, size, speed, and just all the things that gel well together to be a good hockey club.
And anything you can see on the surface that maybe you guys want to sharpen up heading into the last few weeks here. And I know it's tough when you guys are playing so well to nitpick and, find things that maybe aren't up to speed. But is there anything that you feel like you guys can improve upon?
Kind of the one thing we've been talking about lately has been playing a full 60 minutes because there's kind of been lulls lately, whether it's been the first, the second, where we're not quite ready to go off the jump, and it kind of puts us behind, and it just definitely makes the game harder. So playing a full 60 minutes is probably the biggest thing right now.
Few weeks with the Bucks and a few weeks in Cranbrook now. I guess how have you gotten used to it? You got a favorite spot outside of the rink? What are you doing outside of the rink to kind of keep you busy these days?
Not really a whole lot. We spent quite a bit of time at our billets. I live with Quinn Keeler, and then Rasmus Farstrom's our next door neighbor. So we spend a lot of
Okay.
time together watching shows or going on little road trips. And then kind of as a team, we like to do the Tuesday movie nights. And then after wins on the weekend, sometimes we'll go out to eat.
Yeah, heard of the movie nights. Anything good lately? I know we just got through Oscar season here.
I really liked Mufasa actually. We went to see that one a few weeks ago. That was really good. And then we went to the Captain America 2 weeks ago, and that one was pretty good too.
Right, I forgot all about the Mufasa one. That's Lion King's father, I believe. But all right, good to know. I always like to pick the brains on that, just so I have something to bring back to the family in case we decide to get out. Um, so let's bring it back to the Nova Scotia background a bit. Did you have a team or a player that you emulated or followed or was a general fan of?
Um, I come from a big hockey family, so following my cousins growing up because they were kind of role models for me. They played for the same minor hockey clubs, the same U15 club, U18 club, and then they both went to play in the Q as well. So I just kind of followed their path, and they were definitely big role models for me.
I guess if you could describe your game, if there was a comparison to, an NHL kind of defenseman, what would you say you kind of come close to?
I'm not really too sure of a direct comparison. I'm trying to be a two-way defenseman that moves the puck well and adds a physical aspect to it too. But I'm not really too sure of a direct comparison.
And just take me a little bit through on the ice what your defense pairing looks like and how that chemistry's been building up.
So I've kind of floated around quite a bit so far. I've played with Malachi Frey quite a bit, which has been great. Played with Sam Belanger a little bit. And then we sometimes play 7-2, so you rotate in and out with each D man. But I don't know, playing with any of them doesn't really matter. They're all great guys, great players, and it's been good.
Start to wind it down a little bit. First wind down question I always start with is about the billets. You mentioned living with Quinn and next door to Ras. I guess just tell us who's hosting you and Quinn and how they're making your stay better.
Yeah, we live with Tammy and Jeremy Goats, and they have two little kids. They're twins. They're 13, Beckham and Madison. They've been very welcoming to us so far. They treat us great, and we kind of fit in well as a little family, so it's been nice.
And last one, Friday night, Pink the Rink, we saw upwards of 2,700 fans. Probably going to be a regular thing moving on forward as the team heats up heading into the playoffs. Any messages for the Cranbrook Bucks fans out there?
Yeah, just thank you for all your support. It's been great so far having everyone come in and welcome me, and we usually have a pretty good fan base, and especially that Pink in the Rink game, it definitely makes it easier to play when there's more fans in the building. So looking on towards playoffs, the more people that keep showing up, we'll do our best to win for you every night.
All right, Leighton. Well, I'll leave it there. Thank you for your time and for the interview. And yeah, best of luck the rest of the way with your first go around here with the Bucks.
Thanks a lot, Wiley.
There you go, folks. That's Leighton Stewart, number 25 in your program. Bucks fans, Wiley Henderson here, play-by-play voice of the Cranbrook Bucks. Looking like Mr. Clean today. another story for another day. I'm here with one of the newest members of the Cranbrook Bucks, Grant Danuccio. Grant, welcome. Thank you for taking the time today. Doing it mobile, so that's some
Yep.
dedication right there.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, just I guess first of all, a long overdue welcome to the Cranbrook Bucks. Been a few weeks now. Just how's the reception been? How are you enjoying your time out here?
It's been awesome. The boys welcomed me in from day one. Uh, you know, brought me into the team. I felt like one of them out there. So it's been really good. I really like it in Cranbrook. It's a lot different from where I'm from, but I like the small town. Having fun here. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I always like to hear the stories of especially some of the guys that come from a little bit further away. You being from Virginia, obviously, many Canadians on the surface hear of Virginia and don't think too much of a hockey hotbed. But with programs coming up like the Carolina Hurricanes establishing themselves, and then what's happening in Florida with their teams, it's kind of you're starting to see a lot of prospects come from out of there. So I guess just tell me what the hockey scene's been like, with you kind of being at the forefront of that generation that's bringing it to light.
Yeah. I think it's just with the Caps winning the Stanley Cup in 2018. Since then, hockey in Virginia is just blowing up. A lot of guys a few years older than me kind of started, paving the way for some of us younger guys, and it's been awesome. I think there's four rinks within like a 30-mile distance, so hockey's becoming one of the most popular sports back home. So it's good to see.
And just take us a little bit through, your journey to the Bucks, where you kind of got your wheels going, and how you ended up making it out this way.
So this earlier this year, I was in the Null. Then obviously, things happened there, and reached out to Coach Donald, and he was happy to have me here. So came here. First year juniors, I played U18 in Rochester, New York last year. So it's a long way from home.
Yeah, definitely. Was it maybe a little bit of a culture shock, kind of coming out here and seeing the Rockies and
A
all
little
that kind
bit,
of
yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, I love it though. You go outside and you see the mountains, so it's sick. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I've said it many times on these interviews before, but you never really get tired of looking at the Rockies. It's always really cool to see, and having it right in our backyard too.
Mhm.
But I guess let's shift to a little bit on the ice. You came to the Bucks at a time when they were starting to find their legs about themselves after a few stumbles just before Christmas. But the team's looking really, really good lately. That huge road trip through February, just the latest streak that you guys have been on. Just, I guess, what's the morale like right now? The confidence has to be very high.
Yeah, it's awesome. When everybody's bought in and playing the way they should and playing the right way, we can beat anybody. It feels like we can go out there if we're hitting, if we're playing hard, forechecking hard, back checking hard. We feel like we can beat anybody out there. So confidence is super high. All the guys are really happy in practice, motivated. So it's a good environment in the locker room right now.
And just tell us a little bit about who you've been playing with your line mates, and how that chemistry's been kind of turning up. I know we had you out for one of the three-star selections a couple games ago, and it's starting to really come together there.
Yeah, I was playing with my roommate Patrick Murphy for a little bit there when I came here. And then now I'm with Nick Capasso and Shane Baker, two great guys, older guys, so it's good to play with them, see how they play the game, and take things from their game. But chemistry's good, it's there, and we just go out there and work hard.
Biggest difference that you've noticed from the Null coming into the BCHL?
Just the speed, the game's so much faster. Guys know where they're supposed to be. It's honestly easier to kind of know where guys are going to be on the ice. Like I know my teammate's going to be open, and I know if I give him a pass, he's going to control it well and he's going to make a play out of it. So it's a lot more confidence in my teammates, I think.
So back to off the ice a little bit. You mentioned the 2018 Capitals Stanley Cup team. Being from Virginia, is it safe to say you've been on the Capitals wagon for a little while?
Oh yeah, ever since I was born, I've been a Caps fan. Huge Ovi fan. It's sick to see
Right.
what he's doing right now, and it's all.
And still off the ice, it's been a few weeks in Cranbrook. Have you gotten to get kind of a lay of the land? Do you have like kind of a favorite spot that you like to go to outside of the rink? Many favorite restaurants? Chance to maybe give a shout out here.
Fenwick and Baker, great
Mm,
spot, great food, great wraps there. And driving around today, I think it was the first time I didn't use Google Maps. So
mm.
starting to learn my way around the roads here. They all look the same, so I kind of get confused. But other than that, I'm learning my way around here pretty well.
Yeah, Cranbrook is a little bit confusing as far as the roads go. It seems like everything somehow leads to the strip when mathematically it shouldn't. But
Yeah.
yeah, it takes a while to get used to that for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, the without Google Maps is definitely a big step in the right direction.
Mhm.
So looking ahead, Grant, big few weeks ahead before we get into the playoffs. Anything that you're kind of noticing from the team that maybe you guys want to sharpen up? And I know it's hard to nitpick when you guys are on a little bit of a heater like you are now.
Mhm. I think just working on our D zone, making sure that's complete. If we're keeping them from scoring goals, then that's the biggest thing. So really keying down on our D zone, making sure we're strong, knowing what we're doing, and then just the fine details, the forecheck, neutral zone, making sure that's all perfect. So come game day, we don't have to worry about it.
And with this being your first kind of go at the BCHL, what do you want your main takeaway for you personally to be out of this stint here and then for what's to come?
I think just becoming a smarter player, learning from the guys around me, learning from the coaching staff. So I can I can take that away like most of all, but also like from the skill aspect of it, I'm with very skilled players on this team and in the league. I think, again, watching what they're doing and try to take away as best as I can from what they're doing.
Start to wind it down here a little bit. I always go with kind of the same two questions. First one, a chance to give a shout out to the Billets, big part of what we do here. So yeah, just tell us who you're staying with and how they've made your stay all that much better.
I'm staying with Brad and Pam White and Jonah White, my billet brother. They're awesome. They feel like my family since I've gotten there. It's like my home away from home almost. They're super funny. Dinners are interesting with Jonah, but they're just great people, and I'm so lucky I got them as my billets.
Last one, Friday night, we saw that big crowd, 2,700 plus. We're going to see probably a lot more of that as we head into the playoffs here. Any messages for the Cranbrook Bucks fans out there watching this on the Cranbrook Bucks Insider?
Just keep showing up and keep being loud. We can hear it on the bench. We can hear the screams, and it's awesome. It's so much fun to play like in front of that many fans. And yeah, just keep showing up, keep supporting us, and we'll do our best out there for you guys and make it entertaining.
You're given plenty to cheer about lately. So yeah, I'm sure if we keep on the pace that we're going, good things are going to be happening in these
Mhm.
next few weeks. So I'll leave it at that. Grant, thanks for taking the time. I'll let you get back to the road. You know, I know we have the hands-free laws out here, so happy that you're abiding by that. But all the best this weekend and the rest of the way. Thanks for taking the time today, man.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
There you go, Bucks fans. Number 21, Grant DiNuccio.